Ariel Helwani in Las Vegas alongside Mike Jackson, who meets Mickey Gall this Saturday night on the UFC Fight Pass prelims. Now, Mike, I got to tell you, all the years, all the events that I've had the pleasure of covering, this right here, this might take the cake. This is the craziest one of them all. Mike Jackson, a fellow media member. I've had the pleasure of covering events alongside you, not that long ago, mind you. Now here you are with your own sign about to fight in a UFC event. This is insane.
How does it feel for you, Ariel, being here in front of me right now with my sign?
It's mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing for me, too. Being on the opposite side of the camera now, being interviewed by Ariel Helwani. To be honest with you, there's always been, I want to say a goal of mine, but it's always been something I look forward to. I didn't know if it would actually happen in this circumstance, but it's here now, you and I together.
Unbelievable. Now, here's the interesting thing. It seems to me like the stipulation is if he wins, he gets Punk, but that's not the case for you. Is that accurate, and if so, why?
It was funny because when I was originally presented the fight, I was told the winner gets Punk. And then I think someone tweeted Dana and asked about it, and he said no. I mean, it's unfortunate that that's how they're looking at it, but my goal is to change their minds. You know, I'm here to throw a wrench in everyone's plans. With an impressive performance, it would only make sense to put me in a fight with Phil Brooks, because obviously you're signing him for the fans. You know, you're bringing the fans over. You're trying to make money off of his name, and it only makes sense to put someone like myself in there with him, who's also going to bring the personality, the charisma, the wittiness, and throwing jabs back and forth. Mickey Gall doesn't do that. There are not a lot of fighters who can do that. Especially at the lower level that they're going to need for someone like Punk. But that's where I come in. I have the experience. I feel that I'm able to sell a fight a lot better than Mickey Gall or any other person at this level.
So I see you on Twitter sometimes. You call BS on things. What do you say to the people who say an 0-0 guy should not be fighting a 1-0 guy on a UFC undercard? When's the last time you had an MMA fight? 2012, 2013? So what do you say to those people who are like, this is not the UFC?
Look, man, again, this is a business. Does CM Punk, Phil Brooks, does he belong in the UFC? No. Does myself or Mickey Gall belong in the UFC? No. But you bring Punk in because it's a business deal, And again, you can't throw this kid in there with any other UFC fighter. Let's say, I don't know, I remember a guy maybe getting 7 fights. You can't throw a 7-fight guy in there against Punk. It makes no sense. I don't even think the state would allow it. Maybe Vegas would. I don't know how your athletic commission works out here. But you can't do that. So you have to bring in guys with limited experience, like myself and Gall, to sort of vie for the position to face off against Punk.
Now, I know you were talking about the talking, but Gall's throwing some shots your way. You say, that he's going to finish you or that you're not on his level. He's a real fighter. You're not a real fighter. What have you made of all this talk?
I have heard none of this.
Really?
That's what he has to say. He has to hype himself up. And, of course, he's going to have to submit me. That's his only opportunity to finish me, is to submit me. He can't knock me out. He doesn't have the skill set to put his hands on me. For me, on the other hand, I possess the skills to knock any man out. I've knocked out heavyweights before. Also, I'm training in MMA. It's not like I'm just boxing and kickboxing and I'm just not in the gym. I train in these sports. I've been here a lot longer than he has. Yes, he has a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. This is a jiu-jitsu match. This is an MMA competition. So things will have to change for him.
So are you viewing this as the beginning of your UFC career? Are you planning on sticking around now for many years?
No. How I see this, I feel that I've been sort of nominated by hardcore MMA fans to assassinate the character of CM Punk. These individuals, they don't feel that he belongs here, and I don't think he belongs here. But again, take nothing from it. I'm glad that he wants to compete in MMA. I'm glad he wants this opportunity, but I feel he should have maybe started at a lower level. And I understand why he's here. His name, same thing with Brock Lesnar. But when Brock Lesnar was here, he had an amateur wrestling background, and he had one professional fight before getting signed. But even let's take that one fight out. That made no difference, to be honest with you. But again, he had the amateur wrestling background. Phil Brooks doesn't have that at all.
So you're doing this for the people.
Look, I'm a man of the people.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here. I'm going to get these 2 wins, and I'm going to ride off there, wherever. I'm going to grab the mic again and probably interview myself. I don't know what's going to happen.
And finally, what do you think it's going to be like Saturday afternoon? You're about to walk out there in the octagon. Bruce Buffer's going to say your name. All these people talking about this fight. Punk is going to be there. How do you think you're going to handle it all?
First, I can't believe they're allowing CM Punk to be anywhere that close to me.
Why is that?
Because of the power I possess in these hands. They should be trying to keep Punk as far away from me as possible. I've been there on the opposite side, from the media side, so I know what the environment's like, the atmosphere is like. I have teammates. I have a teammate who compete on the card, Derek Lewis. So I know what the environment's like. Mickey Gall doesn't. It won't be like higher up in the card, so people kind of slow to trickle in. So it won't be that many people there. But it'll be fun. Again, there's no pressure for me because again, I'm not even guaranteed a shot with Punk with this. I have to talk myself into this fight. So there is no pressure. I've already won.
What a trip this is. It's like MMA fantasy camp. Enjoy it, my man. You've done a good job up until this point. Good luck in the fight. Pleasure to interview you.
Thank you. Oh, and it's a pleasure to be interviewed by Ariel Helwani.